we are going through the top 5-3, I call it. Top 5 goals, top 3 actions, top 5-3 goal setting framework that I use for myself. I want feedback and comments if you have ideas that you think have worked for you when it came to setting goals and the framework that you used. So I won't spoil anything else, and I hope you enjoy the podcast. What's going on? How is everyone doing? Okay, so today we are talking about setting goals. And if you've seen any of my other podcasts, if you've read my book, you understand that I value goal setting very highly. The reason I do this podcast today and this topic is there was I follow a Facebook group, and it's all about self-development. And someone posted in the group that they felt a lack of motivation. They were asking for advice on what they could do to get that motivation back. And so it got me thinking, because I have my own system for setting goals. I've talked about it before, but now I'm actually going to take you through some of the principles and guidelines that I talk about in my book, but also get more specific on the exact structure on how I think about setting goals. And I replied back to this person with this framework because I think it's this kind of framework that gets your mind set on a path and motivated to accomplish something. And if you don't have that mindset, if you aren't working towards something, then it's very easy to lose motivation. Once you lose motivation, I don't know, it's a downward spiral. And I wouldn't want to see anyone get into that. And who knows, it could lead to depression or whatever. I think people need to have always something to work towards, something that is not easy, something they have to challenge themselves for, and then something they can overcome and accomplish. And it's that type of thing that keeps people motivated, inspired, and willing to wake up every single day and willing to crush it. So that's why I want to do this podcast today. And so now we're going into the framework of how I think about myself when I set specific goals. And I'll give you some of the guidelines that I talk about. And I'd love to hear what you guys do. I'd love to hear that. Any tips or tricks or principles or frameworks that you do when you set goals, please add that to the comment section. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and share this with your friends and family who could use the advice. So let's get started on some of these principles now. There are 4 main, and then I'll go through some other notes. So 4 main things is that 1, you need to have an overall mission of your life. 2 is start thinking, you have that overall mission, but then you start thinking shorter term. I like to think 1 to 2 years out, but I think there's no hard rule on this. You can think 6 months out. You can think 3 years out. I just like to have overall vision of where I'd see myself when I'm 10, 20 years down the line. Like, where do I want to be? Then in little spurts of 1 to 2 years, what do I need to accomplish? What are the many steps that I need to get there? And then within each mini spurt of 1 to 2 years, what are the top 5 goals that I would have to accomplish to get to where I want to be, to get to that 1 to 2 year milestone of where I want to be? And then within each of that, I have actions that I want to take. So let's talk about that. So 1 is a mission, and I talk about this in my book. And I think this is very important. goal setting and envisioning where you want to be and taking the actions, all the stuff, you hear it. You can get very broad or very specific with it. And I think you need to do all of the above. But for a mission of where you want to be in, let's say, 10 to 20 years, or just like your entire life's mission, just like a company has in their own mission statement, that's just who they want to be as a company, as a people, as a community. You need to figure out what your total overall mission in life is. For me right now, for example, I want to have a positive influence on people. That's my mission. Specifically, I want to have 10,000 people. I want a positive influence on 10,000 people. That's the mission. It's my North Star. It's what guides the goals that I set. It's what guides the actions that I take. It's what guides where I want to be in my many milestones that I track 1 to 2 years out. This is sorry. This is extremely relevant to the person that I commented in my Facebook group who said who had a lack of motivation, and so a huge part of having a lack of motivation is not having a North Star. Why are you waking up every single morning and working towards something with the energy and the enthusiasm to get where you want to be? Why are you doing that? You need to have some larger purpose. If you don't have the larger purpose, then I can understand how it's easy to lose that motivation. Very simple. It's just like, oh, what the hell am I doing all this for? And then you say, oh, I know why I'm doing this for. I want to do this. This is my mission in life. So you need to have an overall mission of where you want to be, your overall life. In 10 to 20 years, what do you want people to talk to say to you about, to write about you? Like, what is that mission of yours? And that's the first part for me, is I need to nail down that mission. And it changes. It could change. All these things change. You need to adjust them as they go, but have something that you can fight for every single day. That's one. Two, now we're talking about your mini spurts of 1 to 2 years. Like I said, you can think in 1, 2, 3, 6 months. Just has to be mini spurts to keep driving your mission forward. And this needs to be this. How I think about this is I ask myself, where do I want to be in 1 to 2 years? And that could be it. The beauty about this is it doesn't really matter what the hell you want to be. It could be monetary related. It could be career related. It could be family related. It could be a whole bunch of everything. You need to know where you want to be in order to get there. You can't get somewhere if you don't know where the hell you're going. So just know where you want to be. So in 1 to 2 years, I ask myself, where do I want to be? And that question now helps me understand what goals I need to set in those 1 to 2 year periods. So now, okay, cool. I know where I want to be in 1 to 2 years. Now I set the top 5 goals that I would have to achieve or accomplish in order to become that person that I want to be. And so I call this whole framework that I use the top 5 threes, because I talk about set the top 5 goals, and within each of the 5 goals, you have the top 3 actions you talk about. Reason I mention this is because you could set 6 goals, 7 goals, 8 goals, 9 goals. You can. It's just a framework that I talk about when I say the top 5 threes. So I say set 5 goals. The reason is mainly if you focus on too many things, you won't do great at all of them. And if you focus on only 1 or 2, it won't be enough. And I think 5 for me is the right balance to focus my attention on meaningful things that I want to accomplish over the next 1 to 2 years, and it's enough that I'll get to where I want to be. So I focus on 5 goals that I need to get. I need to achieve to get to where I want to be. These things need to be measurable and they need to be time bound. And if they aren't, you need to do that ASAP, because I talk about this a lot. I feel like I beat a dead horse with this, but if you can't measure it, you can't fight every day for it. You won't know if you've accomplished it or not. So it's like an archer trying to shoot an arrow at a target that doesn't exist. It doesn't work. You need to have some way to measure it. Very easy to measure. Tomorrow you need to be able to say whether yes or no you've accomplished it. And then time bound, you need to have a very clear deadline of when you're aiming to get it done. Otherwise you won't feel the urge to work towards it. I don't know the name of it, I forget, but there's a concept that however long a deadline is how long it'll take you to get the job done. It's just human nature. If you give someone an hour, it's going to take an hour. If you give someone a year, it may take someone a year, and that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but what I'm saying here is if you don't have a timeline set for your goal, you just won't feel the urge to get it done. So top 5 goals that you need to accomplish in order to get where you want to be in 1 to 2 years, in order to get your mission done, to get your mission across. Now, that's not enough, because your goals should be something, right, measurable and time bound. So I don't know. I'll use an example that I have for like my YouTube channel. So I want to have a goal, right? 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2022. Goal. Great. Now, what's missing is what actions are you going to take to make that goal a reality? So that's where we get to the top 3 actions to take to make that one goal a reality. So you got 5 goals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Within each of those 5 goals, 3 actions. Goal 1, 3 actions. Goal 2, 3 actions. Goal 3, 3 actions. So I call it the top 5-3. So now you write 3 very specific actions that you're going to be taking in order to make that goal a reality. And that's the top 5-3. Important things is that once you hit the deadline for your goal, and as you're working towards it, you need to be measuring the progress and the results. So my goal was 100,000 subscribers by end of 2022. I need to be checking that very frequently, see the progress. Are we making the right progress? Are we heading in the right direction? If we're not, I got to make adjustments to the goal, or I got to make adjustments to the actions that I'm taking to make it more reality, more of a reality. So you need to be constantly looking at this. I look at it daily, and I make adjustments to it maybe monthly on average. So top 5-3s. What's your overarching mission in life? If you don't have one, it's going to be very hard to stay motivated and do all these things. Why are you doing all this shit if there's no reason to? I just want to wake up and watch movies all day, and I don't want to do all this crap. Okay, then don't. But if you have that overarching mission, it's like, I need to get the hell up. I need to wake up early if I want to accomplish all this shit. And I need to do it if I want to get my mission done. You need to have a mission, your North Star. It'll be the driving force that wakes you up every morning with the enthusiasm that you need. Then set mini milestones 1 to 2 years out of where you want to be. Then, to get there, what are the 5 goals you need to accomplish? Then, what are the 3 actions within those 5 goals that you need to accomplish? The top 5 3 framework. Some things that I do, or I think I mentioned a couple of these, but let's go through a couple notes here that I think are important. One is I like to cut my deadlines in half. So if I think I can do something, if I thought I could have gotten 100,000 subscribers realistically in 4 years, I say now, F that, 2 years. And then now 2 years out is my new timeline. So whatever your deadline is for one of your goals, and you think that that's a realistic timeline based on your capabilities, based on what you've seen before, what your ambitions are, cut the time in half and you will work harder and get it done quicker and probably have higher quality because your mind will be so focused on getting this thing done because you have to get it now done twice as fast. That I cut mine in half. It puts a fire under my feet, and that's the fire that you need to inspire and motivate you. 2 is set ambitious goals. I try to set goals that almost like give me butterflies or get me a little nervous. Things that you're like, shit, I don't know if I could actually do this. So set ambitious goals. Worst case scenario, you fight as hard as you can to get there. Common saying, right? You aim for the stars, land on the moon. Overused saying that I don't like using overused sayings like that, but it's true. If you set a super ambitious goal and you don't make it, but you get close, if I aim for 100,000 subscribers, but I get to 70, okay, that's pretty good for first time ever doing this, and a year and a half out, not bad. Who the hell knows if we'll even get there? We'll try. But if I never set that goal, I'd never go after it, and I'd never make the progress, and I'd never move forward, and I never improve myself. So set ambitious goals, and don't worry so much. Don't worry so much if you get there at the perfect number. Work as hard as you freaking can to get there, but if you don't make it, don't make it a big deal. The important thing is that you make progress, that every day you wake up in the morning, you're motivated to work at it. And you know what? Even if at that mark you completely fail, for example, let's say at end of 2022, I have like 200 subscribers. I don't think that'll be the case, but let's just say I have like a really low amount. That would be a failure on the part of my goal. And what I write in my book about is I don't find failure even exists as a term in my vocabulary. Only under one circumstance. One circumstance I really agree with failure is if you don't live up to your potential. If you don't live up to your potential, I agree, you're a failure. But if you work at something extremely hard and you don't make that goal, even if it's a huge miss, I don't consider that a failure because I consider you have likely learned a lot of things that'll help you in your next endeavor. And so I talk about in the book, don't worry about each single endeavor as its own thing. And if you fail at one, you're a failure and everything. It's like, who gives a crap? Work at things, set goals, wake up every morning, try to achieve things. If things don't work out, who gives a crap? You'll learn and you'll apply that learning to your next endeavor or your next goal. Stop worrying and so focused on one little thing that might go wrong. I wrote a book that I published myself. I'm on this YouTube channel, just starting out. If one of them fails, I don't give a crap. I'll learn for the next time, and I think I've learned already valuable things. So stop worrying about each and every single thing that you do, and if you don't hit the goal, it might you'll feel bad about yourself and you'll feel like a failure. You have to fail to learn, and you have to learn to succeed. So don't worry about it. Next, I already said review goals daily. I review them daily. I probably update them every month or 2 weeks. I just updated them today. I look at them and say, I actually need to start doing these things if I want to accomplish this. So these are not set in stone. These are not the top 10 commandments. You need to be updating these things often especially when you find they're not working. And that's it. So the top 5-3 framework, use it to stay motivated. Use it to get out of that stupor you're in. And you better get the hell out of that stupor if you're in it right now. You need to stay motivated, focused on what you want to accomplish. Wake up every morning with a fierce mentality of working, improving. And the beautiful thing about this is that no one, especially me, doesn't give a crap what your goals are. Your goals are for you. They don't have to be monetary based. They don't have to be career based. They can be anything that you want. As long as you have that framework, you'll be motivated. You won't fall into a slump. You'll be more energized. You'll feel better about yourself, and you'll accomplish more, and you'll accomplish it faster. So I'm going to put the top 5-3 framework in the description. Feel free to use it, or feel free to adjust it. Feel free to make your own, but just use something similar to that framework with all the principles I mentioned, and I promise you won't be disappointed. And in 2 years, you can come back to me and say, okay, it worked. And if it didn't work, you tell me why, and then maybe I'll make some of my own adjustments. But use the principles, stay motivated, stay focused, accomplish your dreams, and thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to hear more topics like this. Hit the notification bell to stay up to date. Share this with your friends and family who can use the motivation. And everyone, have a good rest of your day.